Hi, you guys. How are you? Welcome. This is Birgit Heffler with Something from Somewhere, organically reborn furniture and decor. Today I wanted to get together with you guys and show you how to use and mix milk paint. I've been asked a few times. It's really a specialty paint. Not many people know about it. It's becoming more and more popular, and in the cheapy world is what we call it, because that's what it does. Milk paint makes your furniture look with that chippy look, like that old world charm, like it's been outside weathered for a very long time. It's not for everyone, but it is really quite, for me, beautiful. I love it. I think it's very authentic and very romantic, and I love it. I use it all the time. So I wanted to come on live and show you guys that it's not so taboo. It's actually quite easy what to really look out for when you use it. The furniture itself, whatever it is that you're going to paint on, the main thing to watch out for, if it's been pre-sealed, if it's been finished before, and that in itself, what happens is the milk paint doesn't attach, so you have to use what is called extra bond or an adhesive. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to apologize about the noise. If you hear it in the background, I tried my best, but next door to me is a motorcycle Harley Davidson shop. So this should be the last person leaving right now. So if you hear that motorcycle sound, that's what's going on. But okay, so going back to the extra bond, this is an adhesive, and it improves the attachment of the milk paint to pre-finished surfaces. Now, milk paint is amazing at non-porous wood. So that in itself, the porous wood absorbs beautiful with the milk paint. Not that it doesn't with the others, just you have to watch out for that. If you don't put extra bond, it will chip off. It will practically flake off in any pre-sealed furniture, or for example, anything shiny like metal or plastic or glass, you're gonna need the extra bond. Just natural wood, it absorbs, no need for extra bond. So what is the amount? You're gonna put, it's 2 parts paint to 1 part extra bond if you're gonna use it. In milk paint, normally you only mix 1 part paint to 1 part warm water. The warm water helps it mix easier. You can use a wire whisk. So I'm gonna give you here a little breakdown of the instruments, of the tools that we're going to use today. So you can use a wire whisk, or to mix the milk paint, or I like the immersion blender, it's faster. I have a little cup, a measuring cup, so that I can measure 1 cup of powder to 1 cup of water. Today I'm going to show you with 2 blocks here, wooden blocks, different finishes, so you have an idea what it looks like with different techniques using the milk paint. So I also have a zebra brush. This is synthetic, because I'm going to apply and show you how to use Sweet Pickins is the brand that I use, which I love. It's really the original milk paint. It comes in powder, and you mix it, like I said earlier, with water. But they have all these amazing products. Everything is non-toxic and biodegradable. It's non-polluting, no VOCs. For those that you don't know what VOCs mean, volatile organic compounds. So it's all natural, and the milk paint is all milk protein, lime, and earth pigments. So there's really nothing nasty on any of the products, and this is what I love. The clear wax, oh my gosh, smells like roses. You can practically use it like lip gloss. So I'm going to use the oil wax. It comes in dark, black, clear, and white. The beautiful is that part of the oil wax at the end is that it gives it like that antique-ish look with all the different colors to choose from. Or you can also just stain wood with it, and it naturally brings out the wood. So I love it. It's really a nice product. And then the beeswaxes, they come in all colors as well, black, dark, and white. Today I'm going to use the white after painting, so you could see how beautiful the depth of the paint is after you put this white wax on. So I think for now that's what it is. And let me see if I have any comments. I do see someone there. Okay, cool, welcome. Let's see, we're going to use, these are some of my favorite colors. So Sweetie Jane is one of them. Flower Suck is like a white color, white wash, which by the way, if you mix milk paint and you make it watery, you can play around with it, but if you make it watery, it can actually become a stain. So that's the beauty of milk paint. You can mix it as thick or as thin as you want. The thicker, you know, the richer, and you can create texture with it. And if it's thin, then you actually create a wash or a stain on the wood. So you pretty much have all colors, all stains. You don't need to get a different stain. You can make your own with the milk paint. I love First Crush. I don't know if some of you saw the trunk that I did about, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I did it with this color, First Crush. It's a really sweet, like rose. You see it up here, pink. And then zinc. I wanted to show you, this is like a silvery, metally color. So I could show you how to do a stain with that color on the boards. All right, so I think we're there. Also, the wax brushes. So I have one that I'm going to use for the white wax, and this is for the clear wax. All right, so milk paint has a tendency to chip, and that's the natural look of it, okay? You can manipulate it with the extra bond. Now, I'm using this time just, you know, pine type porous boards here. These are actually cutting boards, and I'm going to use both sides to show you. I'm going to do one without the extra bond and then another with, so you could see the difference, and then, you know, use the different mediums so you could see the difference, okay? All right, you guys, let me put the camera down a little bit more and see if you can see me better what I'm doing. There we go. All right, so let's do the first color. It's going to be Sweetie Jane. It's up here. I love this color. It's like it's like a vintagey, greenish, bluish color. So this is what I do. I like to use the mason jars. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Try to mix only as much as you're going to use, because it's natural and it's organic, okay? And it's milk paint. If you don't use it right away, you can probably store it one more day, and that's why I use this mason jars, because then I can just close them and put them in my fridge. It'll probably last one day, but if you leave it for more than 2 days, it's gonna go bad. So, you know, it's gonna smell like, believe it or not, rotten eggs. It smells like rotten eggs. And that's because, you know, it's organic. And so don't mix more than you're gonna use. If you need more, you mix more so that you don't waste your paint, okay? So I have my little measuring cup, and I'm just gonna do, let me see how I pour. This is a small, it's only one side, so you guys can see there, okay. So I'm gonna do the first coat, this first sample, without extra bond, okay? That's the adhesive. I'm gonna pour my water. Oops, my chair moved, I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to use my wire whisk right now because I don't have that much. If it is going to be a bigger project and you're gonna have a much, you know, larger amount, I'll probably use the immersion blender, which makes it faster and easier, but this shouldn't be so bad. So one thing with milk paint, the longer you let it stand, the thicker it gets, which is kind of like a consistency of milkshake. That's kind of like what you want. Not too thick, not too thin, but like the consistency of a milkshake. But the longer that you let it sit, the thicker it gets. So if it gets too thick, you can always add a little bit more water and it will thin out the paint again. Okay? I like to kind of test it out with a little spoon. See if I can show you. Do you see that? That's good. All right, if you guys have any questions, please go ahead, ask me. It's Friday. Wow, this week flew by, let me tell you. All right, guys. All right, so I'm going to use my brush. I love to use the Sweet Pickins milk paints. The Sweet Pickins brushes, and also the Paint Pixie brushes. This one is Paint Pixie synthetic. It's works really nice with the milk paint. It's goes on very smooth, so I enjoy these paints. But you can use any that you prefer. But do use a good brush so that you don't leave any streaks of paint. So okay, so here's my board, and I am just going to paint over it. I love this color. Have any of you ever used milk paints before or heard of them? I hope I'm seeing comments here and I got this right. Let me see. Yeah, okay, yeah. So this is pure wood. This is without extra bond, just mixed and paint. Yes, it does take a little bit of, getting used to, because, we're always so wanting things to be done right away, and, we do a lot of already pre-mixed paints. But there's a beautiful, I love it, the fact that, you really take your time, and it's kind of a meditative state to start from scratch and mix your paint. And this is how actually they were, it was done since the beginning of time. The Egyptians and the Romans. You go to Morocco, and I was there a few years ago, and all the paints are paints. There's this town called Chefchaouen, and it's blue. Everything is blue. It's beautiful. It's like a blue city, but it's not paint like we see here. You could see that through the age. The paint just starts kind of running down, and it gives it that really natural, like patina effect. And all the paints that are sold in the markets come in powder. So they're all based on like natural, herbs and pigments, earth pigments. And they come in powder, and you mix them with water. And this is what they painted the whole town with. I think it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And it's natural. If you're sensitive to any kind of allergies, if you have children, all these paints, milk paint, and the paints that I use, I'm gonna be bringing out a new one in the line, which is a clay-based paint. They're all biodegradable, and they're not toxic, and you can paint children's toys. And anyway, I think that's the way to go nowadays, if you know what I mean. Hi, Anthony. Oh my God, hi. Carla. Hi, Carla. Yep, a little bit goes far. Yeah, it's wonderful. That's why I said just mix enough, because you don't really, need that much, and you don't want it to go to waste. You can put it in the fridge, which is really cool, and then continue and use it for another project. But if that's the case, that you have a little bit more than you needed, but try not to mix too much. So I'm going to be showing you, different methods. So I may have gone too much, but what I'm going to do is two different things. Like, I want you to see the difference. This is without extra bond. Like you saw me mix it. I hope you can see the color. It's really a beautiful kind of greenish, bluish color. So this is without the bond, without the adhesive, and it just absorbs by the paint, just like that. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the difference. While this one dries, I'll put it to the side here. I'm going to do the same on this side of this board, but I'm going to add extra bond. Okay, and so again, you would use this when the furniture is pre-finished already, it has a sealer, or if you're going to paint on glass, on metal, on things that are shiny that would not normally, be painted and have some other kind of a finish. This is what allows the milk paint to adhere, okay? Also, if you don't want things to chip, the more that you put of the extra bond, the less it chips, so that's, you don't get that chippy look. So you can also manipulate how chippy or not chippy you want it, which is really cool. And so normally is 2 parts paint to 1 part extra bond. I don't always measure this. I kind of like play it by ear depending on what I'm be working on. This piece, in particular, is not shiny. I didn't have anything really shiny right now to paint and show you. I might have a piece here next to me, but we'll see if we have time. But I just wanted you to see the difference. Okay, so and this probably won't need it, but the other one's gonna look more like a stain, and this is probably gonna look more painted. So I'm not gonna put that much because I don't have that much paint here. But I just want you to be able to see the difference with what extra bond does and what not. You know what, maybe I'll do it on the other side. Hold on. I have an idea. I just thought of something. Nope. You know what? You don't need to sand really much anything. Unless the piece is really, in bad shape and you need to kind of like level it, Carla, you don't need to sand it. You can actually paint right over metal. Now, you can have 2 looks on the metal. If you put a lot of extra bond, it would actually stick and just look like it's been painted normal, and you totally change the look of the metal, let's say on a candle holder, for example. But if you want it to still chip a little bit, you don't put that much extra bond, and it will chip in certain areas. You can sand it lightly with actually a wet cloth, which is great, and just give it little touch-ups with a wet cloth, and it'll come off a little bit. Don't want to do it all around it, because what you do with the water on milk paint, it actually reactivates the bond, so it starts becoming more and more chippy. Okay, so you have, again, I'll repeat it so if you didn't understand. Put extra bond, paint it, done. If you don't want it to be totally just painted and just a little bit, add just a little bit of extra bond and allow it to chip off a little bit, and then just dap it off with a little bit of a cloth, and that's it. I'll show you maybe another time how to do that. Today I'm doing like regular wood, and then I'll do different types of medium so you guys can see the difference, okay? That'll work? All right, cool. So this is the original. This is what I'm gonna do instead. I was gonna paint the other one, but let's see if you see the difference here. This is the whole thing without extra bond, and this one has the extra bond. So I'm just gonna go over it. Only I'm gonna do half of the board. Okay, I'm just gonna do half here. So the coverage is much richer. Hello? Okay, so here. Carla, for outside, yes, well, yes and no. I mean, it is a natural paint, and if you are going to put it outside, you're going to have to put some kind of a weatherproof, I'm not using any kind of toxic or any kind of other materials other than natural, so I would have to look into what exists out there that I could put on furniture for outdoor that is not toxic, or anyway, chemically with chemicals. But there's plenty that you could use. You could actually use polyurethane, so you would paint it, wait until it dries, and then put the sealer if you're gonna leave it outside. A sealer for outdoor, a wood sealer for like if you had a deck at home. Yeah, does that make sense? We have, this brand actually has a great sealer, which I'm gonna use at the end. It's called Topcoat. and you could put 2 to 3 coats after you're done to seal the milk paint. But you know, if it's gonna be outdoors, especially in Florida with the humidity, you know, eventually it's not going to hold. So you would have to seal it with a weatherproof type of polyurethane or something outdoor furniture sealer, okay? All right, so let's see if you guys see the difference. See? So the bottom part absorbs beautiful, so it has that kind of washed look, almost also like a stain. And then with the extra bond, it just looks like a regular paint. The coverage is much richer. It covers, you know, deeper. You don't see so much the wood underneath. All right, cool. All right, so what I'm gonna do is wait until this dries and then show you with the waxes how you can change the look, you know, by giving that antique look. Okay, so that was with 3D Jane. Let's do this one. I wanna show you what, let's see, let's do the flour sack. Okay, this is, yeah, are you asking me, Carla, if you see the difference? You weren't able to see the difference? Look, let me come closer. This is without the extra bond, that it absorbed the wood, and this one is with the extra bond. Okay? Now, remember, we're using natural wood, so it's porous, so the paint is absorbing. If we were to use some kind of another material, like I said, like the glass and the metal, then you're gonna start seeing, you know, the chippy happening. I'll do that probably in another video because I won't have time here to show you all of that. I have a piece here that I started painting. This is the first coat. It's a stool, and I put extra bond. And the white, it was black. So that's the first coat. One thing to take into consideration with milk paint, the lighter the color is gonna take more coats, okay? Because just like anything, you know, if it's a dark underneath and it's white or a pink color or a light yellow, you're gonna need more than, you know, 2 coats, probably 3 coats will cover it. This one, it was shiny, a shiny black bar stool, so I used extra bond. I used the color flour sack, which is the one that I was going to use now, and I used extra bond. That's only 1 coat. So now what I would do is, now the second coat, I would again mix my milk paint. I will not put extra bond on the second coat. So that's one thing that you want to remember. I know it sounds like a lot right now because I'm throwing a lot out there, but it's not hard. The more that we do it, the more you'll get the hang of it, okay? So, because it's shiny underneath, first coat always is gonna have the extra bond to help it attach the milk paint. But the second or third coat, or any coat after that, will not have, or you do not need to add the extra bond, because if you do, you're going to reactivate the first one, and then it's really going to get very cracky. Now, you can play around with it, because if you really, really like it, that's up to you. But sometimes it can become so chippy that it just starts chipping off and flaking off. So it depends how much chippy you want it. I would suggest, and really the way that it's done is, do not put extra bond on the second coat or third or any consecutive coat after. Only on the first one when you're painting something that has a pre-sealer before it, okay? All right, cool. So let's do I want to show you how to antique this. Actually, you know what, hold on. All right, so we're gonna do a flour sack, which is the white. And you know, white is in, everybody's painting everything white. I love it. I love white too, but I like color. I like pastels too, soft colors. Not everything all white. So just a little bit goes a long way, remember. So let's just do a little bit here. And I'm going to, this time, so the one part of the milk paint to the one part of the water. now we mix it. Remember, these are little quantities, so you can always use the immersion blender when you have more. It makes it much easier. Warm water, you mix it. And where are you, Carlita? Good to see you. Thanks for watching. Are you at work? Hi, Matt. Oh my God, I haven't talked to you guys forever. Carla, you're still in Florida, right? And Matt, where are you? Tell me where you guys are at. I moved from Miami Beach, so I'm about 2 hours from Miami. Well, Miami Beach. I know we say Miami, but it's Miami Beach where I was. And now I'm in Stewart area, Palm City. I like it. It's really nice. Much more quieter than Miami, that's for sure. But it's nice. It's nice. I have the ocean and a lot of agriculture and ranches and horses. I love it. All right, so flour sack, mixed it. Now I'm gonna add the extra bond because I want to cover this totally. So we're gonna put some extra bonds, mix it up a little bit. Sometimes there's little air bubbles. You know, if you let it settle, like I said before, maybe, 10 minutes before. Now I don't have time because I'm doing this video, but so that you don't get the bubbles when you paint, you wanna just kind of let it settle for a little while. That always helps. Okay, let me use my brush. Let me just wash it off. Let's see how this works. Okay. All right, we're doing the flour sack with extra bond. So the white usually needs more than one coat, but I put extra bond on this one, so let's see, maybe 2 is enough. It smells really yummy. Also, it's, by the way, you guys, it's very earthy. Like, it smells like dirt, but good dirt, not bad dirt. But if you do leave it out without using it for a few days, it will smell like eggs. All right, here we go. So this is Sweet Pickins milk paint. The company is out of Utah, the owner. She lives in an amazing house, which she has done herself up in the mountains. Oh, gorgeous. Everything is white, and I'm sure everything is been milk painted. All right. One thing you want to watch out for, this is, I know, a board, just like a sample board, but if you're painting furniture, make sure that if you see any drips, to try to go over them. Nothing to really worry about, but if they dry, you'll see them, and then you'll have to go over with a light sandpaper to take them off. So just to kind of save time, try to watch out for drips. All right, white flour sack with extra bond. There you go. All right, so we'll let this sit. I'll put it on the side. And we'll go back to this one. What I want to do with this one here is flip it over, you guys. Still not 100% dry, but I'll take a chance. Should be okay. I want to show you the stain. I'm going to sand it a little bit because there's some paint that dripped over here. what I want to show you on this side is this other great finish product by Sweet Pickins, which is an oil wax. So this is a natural. They have clear, dark, and black. I'm going to use the dark one. Hi Christopher, how are you? Thanks for watching. Where are you texting me from? Where are you located? I love to always see where people are. I'm in Florida, Palm City. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna just pour a little bit over here. This is the dark oil wax. So it's wax, but in oil form. Also no VOCs, non-toxic, all natural. The only way to go, people, especially right now. I'm sure everybody's up to date with all this craziness going on with this virus. Wow. All right, so I like to use a synthetic. It just lights easier when it's oil. So here we go. I'm just gonna dip a little bit and I'm just going to go over the wood. And all the natural, grain of the wood. This is, a little block. Nothing really special, but you can see the difference when you paint this, that all the little grain, all the grain comes out of the wood. Anyways, there's so many uses. You can play around with them, obviously, but I wanted to show you the mixes. A lot of people fear the milk paint because they don't know how to use it, but once, like everything, once you know how to use it, it's not hard. And it's beautiful, very beautiful finish. All right. Can you guys see that? So now this, you pretty much let it just absorb for, I don't know, a few hours. Some people like to let it, absorb the most it can, and then just kind of use a dry cloth and just go over it and give it a little bit of shine to it. Or just go with the cloth right away, and then it's not, so shiny. You don't have to buff it. And you just kind of take the excess. And it's already sealed. And remember, all this is also food safe, so you guys, you don't need to worry about any toxins or using this and putting food on it. We also have, the line has this hemp oil that they just came out with. So like on cutting boards like this, you can also seal it with hemp oil, which is natural. And it also helps with furniture that is dry, and it helps it, come back to life again, moisturizes it. All right, so this is just using the oil wax. I know it has some stains up here because, I get it stained, but just to have an idea what it can do. All right, cool. So here we go back to, let's see. All right, so this is what we had before. I'm going to now show you how to use the white wax. We have oil wax, which comes in an oil form, but it's a wax. And they come in clear, in white, in black, in dark color, but also we have what is called beeswax and wax. And also comes in clear and white and dark and black. Now, what is the difference between both of them? All right, so you want to use oil wax when it's a non-porous type of furniture. After you did the milk paint, you want to do, if it's not porous, you can use the oil wax. If it is porous with the milk paint and it's chippy, you want to use wax. If you put the oil wax or you put any kind of liquid on the milk paint on something that is non-porous, is going to start chipping off, okay? So here we go. This is the clear, but I want to first, what you're gonna do, whenever you're gonna put a color, you always go with the clear first, so that the other color of wax that you put on top is easier to spread. So for example, this is the part that we use the extra bond on. So I am sealing it with clear wax right now, just a little bit of it. I'm just doing this half. Okay, and now I'm going to use my little wax brush and I put some of the white wax here. I just want you guys to see the difference. So here we go. Extra bond, clear wax. And now we're going to just put a little bit here of the white wax. So you can see how beautiful, like, what you can do and how rich it'll look. You let, you know, the wax absorb. So now I take my cloth and I kind of just wipe it off a little bit. Putting the clear wax on first helps with the colored wax to spread easier. And if you don't like it too white, you can always use, again, more clear wax on top of the white and play with it until you get the color that you want. Can you guys see that? This is just paint that I put on. It just kind of, you know, I touched it, but that's with the white wax. I'm gonna do the white wax on this part, which is the non-porous, where we didn't put on the extra bond, so you could see what it looks like, the difference with not the extra bond, just in the style, the finish, the look. So again, I'm gonna put the clear wax on. So I'll show you what the clear wax looks like. The wax seals the piece, okay? So we're sealing now. So that the bottom part was the paint, milk paint with no extra bond. It absorbed into the wood. Now I just put clear wax. You can leave it like that if you wanted to also. So that's up to you. It's your own taste. So I'm just showing you what it looks like now. The same technique, but one with extra bond and one without, so you can see the difference. Now I'm gonna put the white wax, a little bit of the white wax on. You can leave it like that, or you can just wipe a little bit of the excess off. There you go. So white wax on both, top with extra bond. There's more coverage, less coverage at the bottom, a little bit more of that antiquish feel look. Cool. So let's see, and then here we had, okay, and this was the one that was just sealed with the oil wax in dark. So now, like if you had just something that you wanted naturally and just wanted to bring out the grain, natural grain on the wood, you just use the oil wax in whatever color you want. They come in different colors, so you just, you know, choose. All right, wonderful. And now, let's see, this is the, look at this. This is with extra bond, flour sack. So remember I told you that the whites, the lighter colors do need a little bit more coverage with, like, you know, more paint, like 2 or 3 coats. So this is 1 coat of flour sack on the wood. You can leave it like that, but you know, you could always, that's up to you. It's just all a matter of taste. I just wanted to show you. So now with this, what I would want to do and show you is what a dark wax would do on the white, because that's also a very beautiful finish. So it's still a little wet, so bear with me. So let's see if this works now. I'll just take some of that excess paint. But I would take my brush, my wax brush, and use the dark wax on the white. So if you had a piece of furniture, you know, with a lot of details, this would be really cool, because what happens is it stays on those little grooves and it looks really pretty. So, ooh, I forgot to use the clear wax before. The clear wax just helps smooth out the darker waxes. The darker waxes are like richer, thicker, but no big deal. We can fix it. You see? So now you have the whitewash, a little bit of depth with the dark waxes. And it looks really, really cool. All right, you guys, I think for today, painting with Milk Paint 101, I know it was a lot of perhaps information. It is not hard. I'll give you a recap. Really, what you want to do, I mean, very easy. Milk paint is natural and it comes in powder. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want with water. Warm water is best. It helps dissolve the powder easier. Always pour the water first and then the milk paint, okay, the powder. Then look at what you're going to be painting. If it is something that is been pre-sealed, it's shiny, it's glass, it's metal, it's not porous, you want to add extra bond. The extra bond mix is 2 parts paint to 1 part extra bond. You can manipulate the extra bond depending how cheapy or not cheapy you want it. But anyway, you can start off with that and then play around with it once you become much more comfortable with it. Yeah, turn it here so I can see you. And really that's it. You have, you know, other different mediums to play with, but start with the milk paint with extra bond. Topcoat is the sealer that goes on any surface, really. You want to use it mostly on, it's water-based, and on furniture that is not cheapy. So that would be those that you actually put extra bond on and they are totally, you know, finished and sealed. Then you can use the top coat. Top coat is really, really strong. It's tough, it's durable. I would use it on the kitchen counters if you ever decided to wanted to paint your kitchen counters. I know Carla was talking to me earlier about outside. I mean, you could put this and it could be outside for a little while, but you know, again, outside is another mode when you start wanting to have durability, and that is totally another type of finish. But top coat would be something that you could use on practically any piece and really seal it, and it's very strong. Okay, that's top coat. All right, you guys, I think that's the basics right now for today. I'll come along more often, and I'm planning to do this on Thursdays. For any of these products, if you have more questions about them, you can go to my website at somethingfromsomewhere.com, and there's more explanation and more detail in each product. Also, I do sell all these products online, and I do ship as well within the US. So send me an email if you have any questions or you see something that you want and you don't see it there. I can always get it for you. And I will let you know when the other paints come in that are clay based, and I'll also show you how to use those. They're a little bit, actually a lot, you know, more easier. I don't want to say that these are hard. It's just there's less prep work. 2 completely different finishes. One is clay and this is milk. Milk is the chippy, and clay is more all in one, where you pretty much just paint and go. for those of you that like that painting as well. All right, guys, so thank you for being here today, and have a wonderful, wonderful night, and see you next Thursday. Bye. Have a sweet night. Bye-bye.